Y'all thought I quit, didn't y'all? Never. I would never. I am black and I'm back and I'm here to give you my take on the haves and the have-nots. This is season 6, I believe, episode 1, whatever. It's titled Speak Through It, okay? Now, I have caught up with all the other episodes. I know I had to take a little break, a little hiatus, but we all need that every now and then. But I am back, okay? So, before I even get into the episode review / recap, if you're new to my channel, please click that subscribe button. I promise to be here to give you good commentary on some of your favorite shows, just like this one. And for my returning subscribers, y'all, I missed y'all, okay? Thank you for not unsubscribing, because I was straight tripping, boo, last year, okay? 2018 was just like a lot, okay? But anyways, the reason why we're here. Okay, so the description of this week's episode was Catherine mixes business with pleasure. And I'm like, don't everybody on this show do that? But whatever. Okay, so getting started, the episode starts off where it left off last season. So last season, Hannah had a whole attitude because Benny did not want to sign off on that $8 million to give it back to the Criers, because he like, shoot, we got an opportunity to move on up to the east side to a deluxe apartment in the sky, and you want us to sit over here with $12 in the bank in somebody else's house? No, okay? So she got a whole attitude because she's holier than thou. She would not let him in the house, okay? So since she wouldn't let him in the house, he is just like, it's open season on Benny because the Malones were still after him, okay? He had too much pride to go in the house. So Mitch calls Hannah and was like, you got to let him in. His life is in danger. So this week's episode starts off with Hannah. She had rushed outside to see if Benny was okay, and Benny was shot, okay, y'all? He is like holding on to his wound or whatever, and he's like leaned over. We don't know if he's dead or alive, okay? But if you're a longtime fan of this show, you know Veronica don't die and Benny don't die, okay? So, I hope this whole little thing with Benny in the hospital don't last forever, because y'all know we watched Benny for a whole season, like in a coma or something in the hospital. Like, it was ridiculous, okay? So whatever. So at this point, Hannah is feeling bad. She's crying. She's like, Lord, please don't take my baby. Don't take my son. Don't do this to me. I can't go through this. Hannah just can't catch a break, okay? And meanwhile, like, we hear the ambulance sirens, like, coming, like, they're in, like, the near distance, okay? And she's like reminiscing about him as a child, how he smelled, all this, and that. And she was like, in the name of Jesus, it's gonna be all right, okay? We're gonna speak this into existence, okay? Speak through it, Hannah. Speak through it, okay? Ding, ding, ding. Title of the episode. Okay, so goes on to the next scene. We have Madison and Jeffrey, okay? So at the end of last season, Madison and Jeffrey was at David's house. Veronica has a key to everybody's freaking house. Veronica came in, was arguing with Jeffrey. She know Jeffrey crazy, and Jeffrey had it up to here with her, and he pushed her over the balcony. So now, this episode, we see them staring over like the stairway, looking at Veronica just like laid out on the floor, all crazy and stuff, okay? Mind you, it's a wooden floor. Like, she should really be hurt. So at this point, what Veronica needed was a life alert button, okay? Y'all remember that commercial? Like, I have fallen and I can't get up. That's exactly what she needed, okay? But instead, Madison is a nurse, so he automatically goes into, like, nurse duty. Like, no matter how I feel about you, like, we got to save your life, okay? Jeffrey is just strolling by, taking his little time, because he like, I do not care about her. Like, she done got into car accidents. I done stabbed her. Like, she got so many enemies, and the woman don't die. Like, she's like a roach. She's not going to die. Meanwhile, Madison is like, call 911, call 911. Jeffrey is like, nah. But Veronica is conscious at this point. She just can't move. So he's trying to touch her, make sure she's okay. And she was like, get your homosexual hands off of me. I would have been like, okay, girl, bye. Because you don't want to need me right now, okay? I don't need you. You need me, okay? Jeffrey was like, you heard her. She don't want help. Hey, that's on her. So Madison is like, come on now. Like, she could die. You don't want her to die. And Jeffrey is like, okay. So anyways, Cuts to commercial. I have to tell y'all this is If Loving You Is Wrong is coming back February 27th, and I am here for it. Like, yeah, we've been waiting over a year for this, okay? And I watched the trailer, and apparently, what's her name? What is her name? Dang it, it's been so long since I watched it. Well, Maggie, whatever her name is, she is the one that set the shed on fire, okay? So that was a quick commercial break. Anyhow, so we see Hannah at the hospital, okay? She's freaking out, talking to the nurse. What's going on with my son? What's going on with my son? The nurse can't tell her nothing, okay? Now, mind you, none of us ever heard like Benny get shot. So this was done by the Malone. So I'm sure they had a silencer of some sort on the gun. Now the Malones, when they shoot to kill. When they have a hit on somebody, they don't just injure them. Like, they killed them. So I don't understand why, like, they didn't, like, they had a silencer on the gun, like, why they didn't just, like, shoot him in a place like he'd actually die. So I don't know, y'all. Benny probably gonna survive. Okay, anyways. So Hannah's freaking out, but the nurse is like, I can't tell you anything right now. She walks away. So Bay, aka Derek, okay, Superman to the rescue. He walks into the hospital. He's there to support Hannah to see what's going on. Okay, shortly after, Mitch shows up. Okay, now although Mitch was the one to warn Hannah about having Benny be outside by himself, Hannah is looking at him with the side eye. And she's like, why did you call me? How did you know? Like, I need somebody to blame. So right about now, I'm blaming you. And Mitch is like, Miss Hannah, like, I would never do that. Like, I was actually, like, you know, like, trying to help out. I already know what happened. It was my family that was after him. She like, it's over that money, over that stupid little tow truck, right? Yeah, girl, that's why Benny is tired of struggling. That's why he don't want to sign over that $8 million. Okay, whatever. So Mitch is like, I promise you I didn't have anything to do with this, but she don't trust him. She like, you could be a mole and you could be reporting back to your family. I ain't got time for it. Get out of my face. Mitch is like, dude, that's my friend. Like, and then Derek is like, hey, buddy, you need to go. Mitch is like, look, you ain't my daddy and you ain't Benny's daddy. Okay, he didn't say that, but that's the way I interpreted it. And Mitch is like, I'm not going nowhere, okay? This is a public place, and I'm going to sit right here because I need to know what's going on with my friend. They can't really argue that. Okay. So then back at David's house, apparently the ambulance has already come to pick up Veronica and she is gone. But Madison and Jeffrey are still there. I'm not shocked because Jeffrey don't care, okay? And at this point, Madison is trying to convince Jeffrey to go see his mother in the hospital, go check on her. Jeffrey is like, no, I'm not going to do that. Like, don't even try to convince me, okay? But either way, Madison wants to get Jeffrey's mind off of all of this that's going on. So he's like, hey, can I take you to get a bite to eat? Okay, Jeffrey is like, well, I drove. And Madison was like, okay, well, you drive and I'll pay, okay? So Jeffrey agrees. And Madison's like, maybe after we get some food, we can go see your mom. Jeffrey is like, don't push it, okay? So in the midst of his father being in the hospital right now, then his mama is going back to the hospital, okay? She could have broken bones. He don't know at this point. He about to go on a quick little date, okay? So whatever. So next thing you know, we see Candace, okay? So last season where Candace left off, she let her walls down and she let Great Value Obama, aka Charles, you know, she let him in, like literally, like let him in. Like they had a little rendezvous that night in his hotel room, okay? So at this point, that's over and done with. He sleep, okay? He tired, okay? He finally got his boo. Candace is in his bathroom on the floor crying, okay? She has her own room right next door, so she could have went to cry next door if she really like didn't want like him to know. But whatever, this is TV, okay? So he hears her crying, so he asks her if she's okay. She's like, yeah, I'm fine, whatever. He is like, I know she's not fine, okay? She's grieving. So he goes into the bathroom, okay? At this point, Candace has an ugly cry. Like the mascara is dripping all the way down her face. Like she is really going through right now. And we never really see like Candace cry. Not like that, okay? This this is her like grieving the loss of her son. She went through all this stuff with war, with like Quincy. I mean, it's just so much going on, and she's tired, like she's exhausted. But at the end of the day, she starts venting to Charles, and she's saying a lot of the same things that Hannah said to her. Like, it's my fault that my son is dead. Like, I put him in this position because the life I was living, da 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 da. So like, she gets mad at her mother a lot, but it's more so because like her mama be telling her the truth. Okay, she don't deliver it the right way, but she tells her the truth. So whatever the case, she's just like had to get that out. Okay, we never really see like a vulnerable side of Candace like this, so this lets me know she really does trust Charles. This could go somewhere. Okay, I like Great Value Obama. Now I don't know that Candace is Great Value Michelle. Okay, but you know, they trying to work on polishing her up. Okay, let's see. So Charles is just telling her, you know, like, you need to just let it all out. Go ahead, you know, speak through it. You have to get it out. There goes, speak through it again. Okay, so right when he says that, she looks at him, and then she kind of does a whole personality change, and she's like, okay, I'm good. And like gets up and walks out the bathroom, and he's like, hold up, like, you got multiple personalities or something? Like, he didn't say that, but I know that's what he was thinking in his head. Like, that wasn't in your file, okay? But whatever. So he's like, what just happened there? Like, you just like switched up on me real quick. Like, she's like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, I have to get out of here. And Great Value Obama is like, no, chill. Like, we was having a good time. She's like, I can't do this. He's like, no, but I really wanted you to go to the White House with me to meet like the current president and first lady. You know, me as the president-elect, I usually would go with the first lady. But since I ain't got a first lady, I just want you to be my special guest. And she's like, what? To the White House? Like, you would take me to the White House? Like, girl, yes, he didn't move mountains for you already. And so she's like hesitant. And she says like, no, I'm just really messed up. And he's like, no, like, I see past all of that. You're a very strong woman, and I want you by my side. I want you with me. So she's like, thinking about it, like kind of like veering towards okay. Then suddenly her phone starts ringing, okay, messes up the whole mood. He's like, please don't answer the phone, but she has to, okay, because for all she know, that could be her money ringing on the line, okay. Not that many people call her. So she goes and answers the phone. It is Mitch on the phone, and Mitch is updating her, letting her know like, hey, Benny got shot. We're at St. Claude's Hospital. You probably want to get down here, okay? Which, thank God for Mitch, because Hannah, you wasn't even going to call Candace and tell her, like, Candace don't like you, she don't care for you, but you know she loved her brother. Like, why you got to be so evil? Whatever, okay. So, she's like, I got to go. Charles is like, oh, you going to another man? I'm like, ooh, like, I mean, I guess they did just have a little thing together the night before, so it's kind of normal for him to be a little jealous, but, like, she's not, like, your bae, like it's not official, but whatever. So Charles is like, okay, cool, well, I'm going with you. She's like, you can't come to the hospital. He said, who said I can't? Y'all need to go get Landon, okay? As soon as they tell Landon, like, Charles said Landon was right there, okay, in the room while Great Value Obama and Candace is still getting dressed. And he's like, okay, we will get the Secret Service. We're going to get you to the hospital. We'll come up with some type of cover-up story for you to go into the hospital. Cool, okay? They move mountains for him, okay? I don't know why Candace don't want him, like, whatever. So, next thing you know, we see the FBI at the hospital, okay? The FBI is trying to ask, like, one of the doctors or nurses questions about Veronica. Mind you, the FBI has been following her. Because they know that she's under federal investigation because they found the guy that she was going to have set up, RK and Jeffrey and all this and that. He was making a bomb, okay? So the FBI is after her. So the doctor wouldn't tell them anything, so the FBI goes straight into Veronica's room, okay? So they ask her how she's feeling. Veronica is so unbothered. She don't even look like she just, like, fell from the top of the steps, but whatever. And she fell on her back, so she should be hurt. But we find out in this scene she don't have not one broken bone, no nothing. Her muscles are just a little tight. She feels sore. She just a little bruised up, okay? The FBI come in there. They're trying to intimidate her. And she's like, y'all don't know who y'all messing with. Like, you didn't do your research on me? They're like, no, we know you. We know your reputation. We know you're a good lawyer locally, but this is on a federal level, okay? You're under federal investigation. And best believe, like, we about to blow this whole thing up that you got going on like a bomb, okay? AKA, we know exactly what you had planned. And she's just like, oh my gosh, get your sweaty behind out of here. Now, mind you, while this dude is talking to her, he is like sweating bullets. You would think that all the AC done went off in the hospital. And I'm thinking, dude, I know you feel all these drops like dripping down your face. Like, you ain't even gonna keep like a towel with you or nothing. Like, wipe your face. You're not that intimidating if you're looking at me and you just like sweating profusely. Like, get it together. So Veronica noticed it too. She's like, get your sweaty stuff out of my face. I don't have time for it, okay? How long you been on that white horse, that cocaine? He's like, what? She's like, you clearly didn't do all your research because I was over a drug facility and I know someone who has a habit when I see it. So you probably want to get out of here so you can go and get your next fix, okay? Goodbye. So he leaves out, pissed off to the highest level of festivity, like, dang, she done got me, okay? But he didn't want her to see him sweat, although, like, he was sweating. But whatever. So he leaves out the hotel room, tells his partner, like, we gonna get her, okay? We are nailing her. I'm sick of her. You need to try to break everybody around her. Which ain't that hard because Veronica got a lot of enemies. Okay. So now back at Catherine's hotel, okay? You know, Catherine been playing with her little boy toy, Broderick, okay? He is in the bathroom. I guess they didn't had a little session, okay? At this point, she already knows about the prostitution ring and all of that. She's taking full advantage of Broderick, okay? She is really being like top-notch boss lady. So she yells out, she lands on the bed, she yells out, don't make me come in there for you. So he comes out the bathroom in his boxers, okay? And she like gets straight to the point and tells him like, you need to shut this prostitution ring down. So he's like being all flirty back with her, like thinking that like he can kind of like woo her to think the way that he thinks with like being seductive or maybe like continuing to have sex with her. But really, the ball is in Catherine's court right now. So Broderick was like, well, what if I refuse? And she's like, okay, well, were you born here? And he's like, what? She was like, answer the question. Were you born here? He's like, yeah, I was born in Brooklyn. And she's like, that's a lie, okay? Lie number one, okay? I know that you're from Guadalajara. So, and she's like, your social security number is fake and your passport is fake. He like, dude, how you know this? How long you been knowing this? She's like, I've been knowing since the first time you laid them little sexy eyes on me, okay? But I knew one day my day was going to come and I could use that to my advantage. Okay, she didn't say that, but that's what she was thinking. Okay, so he was like, so what? You going to get me like deported? She's like, oh, of course I wouldn't do that. You think I'm going to waste this whole body? Like, no. I'm going to just use you whenever I need you, okay? Use you physically. And I need Candace. And he's like, come again? And she's like, yeah, I want the girl. Everything you have on her, anything you know about her, I want her to go down. I want her to go to jail. And he's like, look, I don't really know that much, but the bartender downstairs, she kind of did something to really piss him off. So he probably got more information for you. So she's like, cool, call him, tell him to come up here, bring the champagne with him since he's a bartender, and don't even mind getting dressed. He's like, are you serious? Dude, you run a whole prostitution ring, okay? Now you scared for somebody to see you in your boxers? Okay, cut it. Okay. So, next thing you know, we have a little quick scene with Brandon. Brandon is like the head of this whole Secret Service operation. He is like the advisor to the president at this point. And Brandon goes into the hospital because he needs the names of all the children in the hospital because he wants to do like a cover-up story for Great Value Obama coming, okay? This is going to be a good look for this hospital, okay? So, of course, they just oblige. So, next thing you know, we have Frickin' Frack watching Wyatt at his mother's house. Okay, Frickin' Frack are his like bodyguards, and he refers to them as his shadows. Okay, so he talks smart all the time. He always been disrespectful to them. He's disrespectful to everybody, but whatever. So, there's a knock. They won't let him go anywhere, but there's a knock on the door, and it's Sarah. Okay, Sarah is the assistant to the DA. Remember, Sarah got caught on camera stealing the bullets out of the evidence room, and she gave them to Jim. Then she tried to show up last season and wore a wire to try to get him to say something to incriminate himself, but Jim was one step ahead of her. Okay, he wasn't going out like that. So Sarah's like waiting for him, and she's like waiting to see if Jim is home, and Wyatt is like, ooh, okay, I like what I see. Well, since I'm locked in here anyway, like I may as well have a little fun with you. So he's like looking her up and down seductively. He offers her a glass of water. Well, he really offers her alcohol, but he know it ain't no alcohol in that house, okay? So they go into the kitchen. He's being like real suggestive towards her, insulting her. He's like, you slept with my daddy, didn't you? She's like, of course not. I'm like, girl, you gotta be a better liar than that. And so Wyatt is like, oh, well, you would be the first, but whatever. He's being a little aggressive with her, so for a second she thinks to go like sit outside and wait for Jim, but but Wyatt convinces her to stay inside, okay? He's gonna go away and give like one of his friends a call to see like where he's at. So at this point, I don't know if Wyatt is actually going to go call and see where Jim is at, or if Wyatt is just trying to get away so he can sneak out of the house, because now Frickin' Frack, like one of them is at least occupied watching Sarah. I don't know, okay? Wyatt ain't that smart, but he's sneaky, so he'll try to figure something out. We'll see. And Wyatt don't die either. That's another person on this show, okay? They can get rid of Wyatt and keep Benny. I mean, Benny is stupid, but Wyatt is just like nerve-wracking, okay? Anyways, so they're back at Catherine's hotel. There's a knock at the door. Of course, Broderick is her little sex slave. Horrible time to say sex slave with the whole R. Kelly stuff, but whatever. That's another video. So he goes and opens up the doors. It's Rocky at the door. He looking confused, like, dude, you ain't got on no clothes. She laying there in the bed. Rocky is like, what's going on? Like, and eventually Catherine and Broderick are both like, look, like she knows everything that's going on, okay? So don't even be difficult. Like, you may as well just like cooperate with her. Catherine specifically asked him, do you know who I am? And he was like, yeah, you're Catherine Pryor. She was like, negative. Lie number 2, okay? I'm actually the woman that has you by the cojones, okay? So pay attention. And so she asked him to pour her a drink, tells him she knows about the ring and all of that. Eventually, all this little small talk gets around to the real reason she had him come up there was Candace, okay? She's trying to convince him to take whatever information he knows about Candace to the police, specifically about the prostitution ring. And he's like, no, because I'm not trying to get caught up in that. She's like, look, either you going to go to jail or she going to go to jail. Choose your pick, okay? Because I also know that you're not here legally. He said his visa was legal, and she was like, my friends up in high places would say differently. So he like, dang, you got me. So, of course, just like she said, she has him by the cojones. He agrees. He will take all the information he knows about Candace to the police, okay? Catherine think this is going to play in her favor. It's not, okay? Because Candace is with Great Value Obama. They cleared her record, okay? She can't get got at this point, okay? Whatever. So, Catherine tells Rocky to come on over here, okay? I don't care what you don't want to do. What's going to happen is a threesome is going to happen, okay? Because it's been a minute, okay? I like the way you talk. I like the way he looks and moves. This is about to be amazing, okay? You can tell Rocky don't want to do it, but he ain't got no choice, okay? Because Catherine is really like running the show at this point, okay? Sometimes we think that Catherine is stupid, or she makes emotional decisions, or like Jim is always like insulting to her. But she really is resourceful, okay? With all the power that she has, she's playing checkers. I mean, she's playing chess, not checkers, for sure. Okay, so back at the hospital, we are in David's room. Okay, there's a nurse there that's bandaging him up. She's saying that he's healing really well, yada yada yada. Okay, then Jim walks into the room. Jim is complaining because it was hard to get into the hospital. So the nurse says, "Oh, that's because we have a special guest here, the president-elect." So David is like, "Oh, Charles is here," and I'm like, "Hold up, pause. How you know Charles?" Okay, because you also knew what's his name, Oscar, when Oscar played Candace, and I hope you ain't using Charles to play Candace. I mean, that's on a much higher scale. um I really hope that's not the case, because I really do love Candace and Great Value Obama together. But whatever the case, he's like, is he hurt? Like, what's wrong? Of course, she can't reveal that information to him. So, like, she's like, no, he's here visiting some children. And Jim is like, yeah. Get your behind out of here, okay? He cusses at her, but it's like, dude, you were rude, okay? Whatever. She leaves the room, and Jim is basically like updating David on his informant that he had with in the DA's office, which was Sarah, and how she got caught, and how all the information he has on her, they probably already know. So he is just like, it's a catch-22, okay? He's stuck between a rock and a hard place, and he don't know what to do. And David really wasn't able to offer him any good advice either. Like, every option he came up with was not an option, okay? So, but he does tell him, you need to tell Catherine. So Jim gonna go tell Catherine, but they don't have a plan as of right now. Okay, so end of the episode. Okay, this was the good part. Okay, so all the patients are waiting in the waiting room along with Mitch, Derek, and Hannah, and all of a sudden the Secret Service, like, they come swarming in, clearing out everybody real quick, not a big fuss or nothing, and people just oblige. And I'm thinking, like, if I was sitting in the waiting room waiting for one of my family members or a loved one, and Secret Service gonna come in and tell me to move, I'm gonna be like, excuse me, like, I have a family member here too. Why is somebody else more important than me? Oh, well, how y'all gonna accommodate? Okay, because y'all need to give us a new room. Let us be in the room. Like, y'all ain't about to do this. Okay, this is emotional stress. Okay, whatever. But y'all know I would be a little difficult, and eventually they'd probably be like, you need to move or you're going to jail, and I'd be like, gotcha. Okay, so anyways, they like clear everybody out. Hannah is looking around like, what is going on? Derek is confused. Mitch is confused. They ask Hannah what her name is and if she knows the two other men in the room. Of course, she says yes, and they start moving chairs and stuff, and they are looking like super confused, and they are literally like, what is going on? What is going on? Y'all couldn't wait for this moment, okay? Candace and Great Value Obama walked in like a power couple, like, yes, they've cleared the scene for us. Now, mind you, when they was clearing the scene, they knew Mitch's name, they knew Derek's name. I mean, like, they the Secret Service, and they already knew everything about them. Okay, so they're like, Candace and Great Value Obama walk in, and they standing there looking like, okay, you're here because we allowed you to be here. Now, Candace could have been ignorant, okay, like her mother, and she could have been like, no, she doesn't need to be in here either. But Candace wasn't. You know, you got to give Candace her props sometimes, okay? Anyways, Hannah is looking like, oh, shoot. I should have known, okay? Because she don't hold nothing past her daughter. So, of course, they're going to have another showdown next week, except Great Value Obama's going to be in the room, and he is there to defend his bae, okay? So, we shall see how this goes. Y'all, let me know what y'all thought of this week's episode, what you think is going to happen next week. Are you excited for If Loving You Is Wrong? And y'all, once again, I'm so sorry I had to take a break, okay? I had to get my mental headspace together, but I'm back, okay? And I will be back for the next review before the show comes on after the show comes on tomorrow. Anywho, as always, please like this video. Like. If you made it this far, you may as well like it. Subscribe to this channel, and I will see you guys in my next video. Holla!